Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nibiru channel. It is October 16th, 2016, and this is the 9th and last in the series of our iHeartRadio interview yesterday with Gary on the Front Porch radio program. So sit back and listen up.
Power plants cooled down, so they're going to start melting down, and we're going to have a Chernobyl in every city along the river.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so not to mention, you've got the shaking of the earth that's going to happen. That's going to break these. Okay, Scott, just probably a few weeks ago, that pipeline. You remember hearing about that gas pipeline that broke down in Alabama?
Oh, yes, I most certainly did.
Okay. Well, it was supposed to affect Alabama, Tennessee, and most of the southern East Coast. And I live here in Nashville, and they were telling people on the news, look, don't freak out. Don't run to the gas stations and fill everything up that you have, because it's not that type of drought of gas. It's just we're kind of limited on our gas. Just fill up what you need to. We're still going to be able to deliver the gas. But see, something that small, something that minute, people didn't even listen. Man, they came out and brought their boats, their yachts, their weed eaters, their lawnmowers.
Yeah.
And I mean, they brought gas cans. They filled up, and gas stations were out of gas. People were lined up. And man, that we weren't even in a gas shortage. That was just you need to kind of conserve your gas consumption, is all we're asking. But people went nuts. So, I mean, if we have the ground shifting and the earth twisting and turning and gas lines breaking open and gas blowing up out of the ground, raw oil blowing up through the ground, it's going to pollute our waters, pollute our soil. And like you said, the shaking, the breaking of the bridges where you can't even get across a river anymore. And these are the little things that we're not even thinking about that's going to happen when this comes, right?
You're absolutely 100% correct. Our modernization is, I hate to use this term, but it's going to be the death of you, because people are entirely too modernized. Just think of the amount of people that you could cast out into the woods or the forest. And do you think they could live for a week on their own? Some people don't even know how to use a compass. So just think of all these modern people all over the world. They're going to be cast into the days of Mad Max and the Thunderdome. I mean, you're going to have massive amounts of crime, and that's going to be another issue that wasn't there in the Bible. We have so many things that are going to be different than from the biblical days into these modern days during this passage. And this time around is the absolute cleansing of this earth. That is what I truly believe. This is the dissension. This is the cleansing of the earth. And that is exactly what it will be.
Mm-hmm. I truly believe that. And I truly believe that these governments are getting everything in line and are expecting that very, very thing. Because, I mean, if amateur astrologers and astronomers, amateur scientists, people like yourself, me, other people are able to look at data with like the limited amounts that we can with telescopes or whatnot, people like Gil Broussard coming out with their findings and all that, we know that the truly rooted, educated scientists that are in NASA and other places in other countries are well aware of what's going on. They're just not letting it out. But
exactly, they're under federal disclosures, non-disclosures. Right.
So, we can see it. We can see it forming if we just kind of step back and look at the bird's eye view. It's all what we're told in Scripture is when it talks about all these things: wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, earthquakes, and all that. The very first thing we're told to do is be not deceived. Do not be deceived, for you will hear of wars, rumors of wars, blah, 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 blah. So our first commandment is not to be deceived. And I like the analogy because I talked to you last time about my friend Sherry, and she was talking about she's the one that turned me on to the Delphi effect that I was wanting to talk to you about. How we're being shown one thing when really something else is happening, like a card trick. I gave the analogy last time. A card trick. They're forcing what card they want on us. It's just we think that we're able to make our own decisions and do whatever. And what we're trying to get to is the root of what is this card being forced upon us, right?
I'm sorry, you cut out. You cut out for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, with the card trick analogy, we're trying to figure out what card is being forced on us, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And it just makes it interesting. Okay, so last time I had you on the program, you were talking about how come the spring and summer it's going to get really intense. What type of intensity is going to happen, and what do we need to be looking for?
As far as intensity goes, the closer this exodus becomes, we are definitely going to see a massive increase in earthquake activity. Now, so far this year, I haven't looked for today, but the last time that we spoke, we were well over 42,000 earthquakes up to date for 2016.
Wow.
With all of the activity that's gone on since I spoke with you last, plus with what happened on the west coast of the United States with all of the earthquake activity, will probably be 50,000. And then, you have these debunkers. And I just want to add this in there because this is very, very important. You have these debunkers that say, we have earthquakes all the time. That's nothing new. Man, give me a break. That's nothing new. Since when is 50,000 earthquakes on this globe nothing new in a 9 to 10 month period?
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here. You're crazy. That really makes me mad. And I've had a few debunkers come after me over the last couple of days. One from the United States and one from New Zealand. And they were trying to debunk one of my videos. And this is what they do. And they were so-called amateur astronomers. And here's the problem with amateur astronomers. If they're very, very educated and scientific, they rely strictly on data. And I mean numbers. If their numbers and their mathematics and their spreadsheets and their computerized models don't add up, they don't believe it. Well, guess what? Your beliefs and your mathematics and your models are going to get you killed. If this goes down, your education, your training in mathematics is not going to save your life. Your little telescope that you have peering up into space is not going to save your life. Being prepared. And like I always say, knowledge is power. And right now, the knowledge of mathematics is not going to save your life. What we're talking about here today, listening to your show, could possibly save your life. Because you're not going to look back on a math class that you had in college, and that's not going to save your life. But listening to your show and listening to me, something may strike a chord in this emergency situation, and that will save your life. And these debunkers are coming out hot and heavy over the last 45 days. I am documenting it because they are crushing my YouTube channel. They literally have assigned people in the comment sections of my videos that are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, spewing their putrid hatred. and disinformation. If you don't believe me, go to my YouTube channel, go to one of my videos, start watching the video, move down to the comment section, and spend 2 or 3 hours in that one comment section. Pay attention to the names that they use. They're fake names, no pictures, and they sit. Wow, I tell you, it's we're heading into some trying times, and I think in all reality, you know, it's like any other battle, any other war. We're going to have our casualties. Some will live, some will die. But in the end, I think the new world, and I'm not talking about the new world order. I'm talking about the new world that will come about after this is all said and done. And I think humanity will join in a brother and sisterhood, and it will be a new, refreshing life without the elite. Because in 500 years from now, the archaeologists are going to dig them up and say, wow, look at this guy, you know? You know? Oh, this must have been one of those elite that they talk about, you know, in that past history. Wow, what were they doing under these mountains?
and they're all huddled together in fear because
exactly
the last verse of that. Let me just read. Verse 14 says, "Surely they are like stubble; the fire will burn them up. They cannot even save themselves from the power of the flame. These are not coals for warmth. This is not a fire to sit by." And the last verse of Isaiah 47 says, "That is all they are to you. These you have dealt with and labored with since childhood. All of them go on in their error. There is not one that can save you." So there you go. I mean, these people have been at it their whole lives, trying to debunk this and debunk that and scientifically formulate that it's this, when we know that it's the hand of God working here. And like you said, I mean, man, you're trying to get out there. Okay, people, this is his channel on YouTube is Nibiru Planet X 2016. And he's trying to share with you the truth as we get it. I mean, this is all new to all of us, you know, and there's people here that are dedicated and passionate like myself with the scripture, people like Scott with what's coming in the atmosphere. And we are trying to do our best to give you the most pertinent information at the time. And this last verse just says it all, that we have labored with these people since childhood, and all of them go on in their error, and there is not one that can save you. So these people that get on here on like Scott's channel and try to debunk what he's talking about with all these formulas and these theories and whatnot, God just told you they go in their own error. There is not one that can save you. And so don't be misled. Don't be the first verse of that whole Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, the first verse. Do not be deceived. Don't be steered away from these people claiming that they have all these formulas and this and that. You know, again, Scott, I mean, I ask you, are you some kind of degree-bearing philosopher, doctorate, PhD, and have all of these awards and all these things given to you? Or are you just kind of a common guy that's got a little knowledge trying to help people?
Well, I mean, I am educated. I mean, I do have a couple of degrees from college, but they are not in astrophysics, physics, astronomy, and I am not a scientist. I'm not an astronomer, but I am one hell of an investigator. I mean, I spent 22 years as a advertising and marketing executive. I worked for, I think, the largest international advertising agency in the world, Innovative Marketing Group. And I've been all over the world. I know how to talk to people. I know how to create a response. And, you know, these debunkers get on there and they say, oh, we know all about your past. You're a salesman. I'm not a salesman. I am not a salesman at all. Because do I ask for donations? Am I selling T-shirts and hats on my YouTube channel? No, I am not. Do I need the money from the advertising that goes on your YouTube channel? No, I do not. But what they don't understand is the way that YouTube works. And they're always throwing this money issue at my subscribers. Oh, look, Scott's making a bunch of money off of you while you're watching his videos. No, I'm not making any money off of the people that watch the videos. Outside advertisers pay for the advertising to be on these videos because Google is a large marketing and advertising company before they are a search engine. And that's the bottom line. And the way that their internal algorithms work with all of their servers at Google and YouTube is they will push your videos to the forefront in their algorithms when you have the advertising banners in the beginning of the videos. Thank you very much.
Yep.
So Scott's a smart guy. And Scott does not come up here and produce word salad. I'm going to give you facts, and they're going to be right in your face. And it is up to you to determine what you want to believe. And if somebody is going to explain something to you, and they're going to put it out of your realm of intelligence, then that means that is the sheep in the wolf's clothing, and they are trying to deceive you.
Yeah, they're trying to deceive you, and they're trying to make themselves be superior to you. And you find that in the career that I'm in. Anyone who's out there, when you're out there on the battlefield of the highways, and somebody is trying to be superior to you, regardless of what it is, right off the bat, you're leery to all of that.
Absolutely.
But the reason I brought that up is because we are basically the least of these in a world of like educated scientists. You know what I'm trying to say? And we're trying to break it down into layman's terms so that the common man can understand it, because we care about the knowledge that we're sending to people. We don't want to impress them with all of these formulas and crap that we know. So, that's how God has worked throughout the Bible. He has used the least of those in a situation to further his will. And that's why I'm very adamant about listening to people like ourselves that really try to break it down into layman's terms and do all of that the way that we're doing it. So, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, Scott. And we're coming up on the end of the program. We've gone almost 2 hours, and right at the top of the hour, everything's just going to cut off on us. So I kind of want to get our goodbyes and our final analyze of this whole talk kind of taken care of before that happens. But man, Scott, I've really enjoyed this time on the program. I mean, your audio quality is absolutely superb. I can't wait till you go back and listen to the refeed, because it sounds like you're sitting right here beside me.
Well, believe me, in spirit, I am. Everybody that I come in contact with, over these last 6 months, that's really listening to this message. I'm starting to talk to the subscribers to the YouTube channel. I'm going to tell you the truth, Greg. I was about thinking maybe I ought to put together a toll-free number and hire people.
Yeah.
And have the toll-free number live for people that want to call in and ask questions. I have a website that it's live on the internet now, but it needs more development on it, because I can't personally be on the YouTube channel in these chat rooms and under these video comments 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Although I do try to, get in there every now and then. But, those little YouTube trolls, they make your life a miserable hell. But as far as the amount of emails that we get every single day, I have a team of people that work with me. I just brought on a new lady who is a Earth Space Science high school teacher, very accredited, and she's going to be helping us. She's actually the one that brought the magnetopause information to us and has been analyzing it. And I've surrounded myself with a pretty good team of people to help me, because I can't do it all on my own. But I'm going to continue what I'm doing. And to be honest, I don't have to do it. I don't have to do it. But you know what? If I go down, I'm going down in a blaze of glory, and I'm going to help my fellow man.
I'd like to thank all of our Nibiru watchers. You guys do a fantastic job. Would also like to thank you for your loyal subscribership. You can continue to email your photographs and your video to NibiruPlanetX2016@gmail.com. And don't forget to share our videos with your friends and family members on Facebook. And subscribe to the Nibiru channel for all of our current updates. And like I always say, keep an eye in the sky.